steampunk set in the Victorian times, so a completely different time period. And then we don't necessarily follow actual real history exactly how it happened. A lot of us tend to follow maybe an alternate history that has more science fiction in it, more gadgets. What I love about steampunk is you're not actually bound to what they actually did in the Victorian times. We usually use it for inspiration as opposed to following a model, which is different from some of the other costume events, like Renaissance or like even Civil War reenactors who follow it absolutely to a T, all the way down to the exact type of material. What makes steampunk even more fun and even more open to more people of every age is you're not bound by those specific rules. One of my favorite things about steampunk is the diversity, just massive diversity. One thing that's really fun about steampunk is people tend to create a whole character, like a whole kind of persona, and when you just look at them, you can see what they are by how they are. You know, it probably wouldn't take you very long to figure out that my character's a sheriff, right? You could figure it out. Or maybe if you were looking at someone, you could tell that they were a saloon girl, or that they were like an old Western cowboy, or that they were a fighter, or maybe a zombie killer or something. So you can tell from their costume how they put it together. I just really enjoy that aspect though, the wide diversity.
Yes, you.
I see a lot of characterization, a lot of personal, their own personal touches on things. Like I'm not the only big hand out there. I've seen people with big hands quite a lot, and they put their own thing on it. Gentlemen trying to look a certain class. So like you'll either have people who are trying to look aristocratic, or you'll have the people who are part of airships, or even lower than that, like the servants and things like that. But even within that, it's a class system where everyone's equal.
In the costuming, a lot of times you'll see things like the bustles and the mutton sleeves or vests, things like this.
See a lot of goggles, see a lot of top hats, see a lot of guns.
Brass, copper, leather, browns. I'm not wearing that much brown because you don't have to go with just one element of it. You can make it your own. Gears. Some people are iffy about it. Some people say that if it's going to have a gear, that gear has to have a function. Other people just say, yeah, just glue some gears on it. That's actually kind of a running joke because there's a song out there called Glue Some Gears on It.
Glue some gears on it and call it steampunk. That's the trendy fashion nowadays. A copper painted chunk of some 1980s junk will fetch a pretty penny on eBay.
Steampunk music, I would say it's really nothing to do with actually how it sounds, unless you're talking about maybe some kind of unusual instruments that are added. Steampunk music is a lot more about the aesthetic, what it looks like, you know, what they're wearing, or if they have props or things, and a lot of times also about the meaning of the lyrics, what the lyrics are about and the stories of the lyrics. So steampunk music is extraordinarily eclectic. It's all across the board.
Steampunk inspires people that weren't necessarily artists to become artists. Just because you're not doing it professionally, it doesn't mean that you're not an artist. It doesn't matter if you're even good or not. Like, as long as you're doing it, as long as you're giving it a shot and trying to express yourself creatively, then you're doing it right.